Is it?
Okay, welcome to our first inaugural playtest of D&D Next. It's in a new series that we're releasing here on the GM Academy to sort of showcase some different systems and different games. So we're going to kind of jump right into it. First off, we're going to kind of go around the table and give a couple of character introductions here. We're going to start with one of our players, David.
Howdy, I am David Gossett. The character I'll be playing this session is going to be Rick Javik, who is a gnome druid. There you go.
Rick Javik saying howdy from the deep south. And I need to, I need one random fact about your character, sir.
One somewhat random thing about Rick Javik. He was actually, for about 6 or 7 years, he was married to an 87-year-old blind woman who thought he was actually 5'4" instead of the 2'7" that he actually is, because his voice is a little bit deeper than you would think. It was a loving marriage.
Apparently so, as voice was the only way she was determining size. So, from there we have Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Marcano. I'm going to be playing a dwarf fighter named Angelique. Angelique, an interesting thing about her is that she is a kleptomaniac, but a kleptomaniac only on farm animals and would steal the chickens from the local farm.
Oh my word.
The vein is pounding on my forehead already. And finally, we get to Keegan.
Hello, I'm GM Keegan from the GM Academy. I'm playing a classic elf wizard, and as he comes in with a deep bow, he explains that his name. It's a family name. Donald Earl Reginald Pisces Yasgard, or as my family affectionately calls me, Derby. And then the deep bow, raises his head and says, I like turtles.
Okay, so we have Angelique, Rick Javik, and Derpy Hooks. All right. Wonderful. And of course, my name is Jim McClure, and I will be our wonderful GM for this evening. And again, our system is this is a playtest of D&D Next. So, what happens is the three of you are from the small little mountain town of Bearswith. So named for the small path that goes through the mountains that was said it was only wide enough for a bear to pass through. The three of you have departed. You've actually been going for several days out in the mountains. You've been on a hunting expedition, gathering supplies for the small mountain town. And upon returning back through the path that the town gets its name from, you see is what is sort of a hastily encampment of a bunch of people, townsfolk. You perhaps recognize some of them. It seems almost a chaotic situation that the three of you all walk into. What do you do?
Wow, what's going on?
Who are you asking?
The group.
This wasn't us, right? Derpy kind of looks around.
It's just that the three of you have walked up on this scene of a bunch of your fellow townsmen that are all, for some reason, gathered out in the woods away from the town itself.
Angelique calls out to them, "Hey, what's going on over here?"
And a couple of them kind of look at you and shake their head and go back to what they're doing. As you sort of look a little more throughout it, you see there's a couple of the town's guards that are dressed in armor dealing with people. And as you sort of get in the middle of it, no one's directly paying you attention. There's a lot of conversation. You start to see a number of people are wounded. There's people bandaging them up, some people lying on the ground, some various different things going on, and everyone's talking about the attack, and it's horrible, and all of this.
Whoa, attack! What happened? We were just gone for a few days. What's attack is going on now? It's ridiculous.
And Rick Javik, all of a sudden you get slapped in the back of the head with a piece of wood.
Oh!
And there's this old woman that's sitting there with her cane, and she flipped it out and hit you with it real quick. And perhaps someone that you know, perhaps someone you were married to. But no, you know her as the old woman Melfina from the town. And she slaps you again with her cane. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where were you?
We were out on vacation. Everybody knew this. We got time off.
Holding up a bag of pine cones. Obviously, we were having the best time of our lives. What's happening?
And
We're out bear watching.
Angelique, as you speak, she slaps you in the shin a couple times with her stick. Go help the guards.
Ow! 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 Angelique hops on one leg over to the guards and kind of taps one on his hip sort of area because she can't reach all the way to his shoulder. What's going on around here?
And you see him kind of look down, and he's talking with people, and you see several people kind of coming up from the town, and he's dressed in his full armor, and he kind of looks at you and shuffles you. Go sit over there. We'll take care of you as soon as we can. And he kind of goes back to talking to people.
I'm not hurt. The lady hit me. I was wondering what was going on here.
Listen, a lot of people have been hit by a lot of other people right now. It's a bit of a busy time. If you'd please just sit down. We'll get to you as soon as we can.
What? I don't need help. No one. We're all fine. I just want to know what's going on. I want to help. Is it, what is there a problem with me trying to help you? Do you not want my help? Like, what the hell?
Are you sure you haven't taken a hit to the head? I recognize you. You're from Bearswith. You do not know. You escaped from the attack, yes?
We've been on vacation for like 3 weeks, me and my friends.
During this conversation, Derby looks around for a tree. Is there a tree that he can climb?
There is a tree that he may climb.
We'd like to climb this tree.
Give me an acrobatics check. Or athletics.
Athletics check. Look at my sheet. Boom.
And anyway, as that's going on, he turns back to Angelique. Listen, if you haven't been in the town recently, we just came under attack. We're trying to get as many townspeople out. Many of them are dead. Many of them are in.
Attacked by who? Who attacked us? We're in the middle of freaking nowhere, man.
Wait, are you telling me that all the elderly women have risen up and are just beating everyone? Because that seems to be what you told me.
That's a good... Yeah, she hit me too.
Do we have to kill rub his forehead.
Do we have to kill...
He rubs his forehead and says, Tell Melfina to stop hitting people. Get that old woman under control. Listen.
But who attacked us?
Who is not the question? What is the question?
What?
And if you all were lucky enough to be out, were lucky enough to be out of town when it happened, count yourselves well. Hopefully your families got out.
Well, I mean, we don't have any family that lives here, so I'm sure we're fine. But either way, what do you mean?
Emotionally invested in the town means nothing to people.
How is Derpy faring on this climb?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your climb roll to 3?
Yes, it was one of his better ones.
Derpy, as you're climbing up the tree, you get to about the second branch, and it just snaps under your elven weight, and you fall flat on your back and take 3 points of damage.
Oh my! Slowly brushing himself off. Okay, now that I have everybody's attention, kind of like looks at the crowd. Fellow kin of the city of Townsfolk, or Townsville. Kind of looks...
Bearswith.
Sure, we'll go with that. And he kind of just like looks around, brushing everything off, coughing a little bit. Who said what? Did what to whom? Point them out to us.
Yeah.
And you see like it just sparkles around his fingers like as if he's about to cast something.
And you see the guard get visibly annoyed with the 3 of you, and he just... Listen, 3 of you can just wait over there when I'm done processing the people and getting them to those that have families, as he says down to the dwarf. Then I will handle your needs. Is that clear?
But the thing is, we three are the best adventurers in this town. So we should have the right to help.
We don't need adventurers. We need to flee from the monstrosity that's in the town.
But we want to... What monstrosity? Maybe we can help with the monstrosity. We can get rid of the monstrosity. Everybody can move back into the town. Everyone's happy.
To the town! Derpy yells out.
So, the three of you are just going to walk into town and kill half of my guards.
Yes.
In the distance, you hear Derpy, yes, as he's running to the town. Let's go!
As you're literally running to the town?
Straight, just running straight towards the town. And it is like Glee. He almost skips a little bit as he jumps over a small log. You can see the Glee as he prances, almost like a gazelle.
There was so much glee. I felt it.
What's your speed?
30.
I'm sorry?
30?
30, okay. As you're skipping to town, you see the guard, like, now is... He turns back to Angelique and Rick Javek and just wait here, and then he starts running after you, sort of down the path. And because you all have this, are you actively like full on sprint trying to keep away from him, or are you just happy-go-lucky skipping?
Like jog speed, like 2/3 speed, happy and excited, but obviously not sprint.
Because he's full-on bearing down as you run.
To the town!
And if you're saying dog speed, he's going to catch you.
Haha, adventure awaits. Are you coming too? And he kind of just smiles and smirks at him.
So I'm gonna look over at Rick Javik, and I'm gonna kind of look at him and kind of whisper, "You want to take the shortcut into the town? See what
Really,
happens?"
I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
let's
that
go.
small little trail right there.
Yeah,
Anyone can see it.
yeah. I want to know what's going on in the town. I don't care what these guards have to say, pretty much. So let's
I
go.
need to check out my shed. Well, it's more of a doghouse. Well, it's really more of my house, but everyone says it's a doghouse. More like a shed. I love that thing, though. I built it with my own hands.
And Derp will be fine. He might get arrested, but we can cash bail for him.
Oh, look at him. He's making his own fun. He's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so let's go.
Adventure!
And we're gonna kind of go and take a little bit of a ways through the woods to a different way through the woods to get to the entrance of the town.
Okay. Now, are you trying to sneak away from the party, or are you just like, we're gonna go this way? Because there's a number of people other than just this one guard.
Yeah, we're gonna. Do you want to sneak? Do you want to try sneaking?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best.
Yeah, I think sneaking is the best idea.
You all each roll me up stealth checks. Where in the meantime, as Derps is skipping towards town, all of a sudden you get flat tackled, bam, by a guard and go down.
I've always loved how affectionate you are. And it kind of like with whatever hand he can squeeze out, it kind of like pats him on his head. I appreciate you too.
Okay.
As the wind's knocked out of him.
And he picks you up and grabs you. And how big are you for an elf?
Average size, 5 feet.
Average size.
That's just
okay. And he's a pretty strong guy. He grabs you by the arm and just starts dragging you back to camp. Meanwhile, I see one of our two rolls as
I didn't roll right. 1 second.
Rick Javik just goes, "Oh, I'm going to sneak off into town here," and goes into the road.
I'm in plain sight.
We've rolled two
Never
20s and we've rolled a 1 and a 2. This is going to go well.
Shit.
We are
Oh, sorry.
adventurers.
And we're waiting on one more roll as Derpy, let's say, you're being drugged back to the little encampment by the guards.
Our brave heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh, stealth. Here we go.
And then we were just waiting on a stealth check from Angelique.
As they're
I know. I'm trying to. I forgot what it is.
That's tied here. Dexterity?
My
So
deck.
just your
Okay.
dex mod?
Okay.
Okay. So as she's doing that, the guards who's dragging Derpy, he's just looking down at you, shaking your head. What are you doing, you stupid fool?
With a happy-go-lucky grin looks up. Isn't the adventure this way? And he kind of like points, and he wants to like talk and ramble on about all of their days as a youth. And remember that one time when we pushed that little kid into the pond and we all laughed at him, and wants to reminisce and try to get him to loosen his grip.
Okay. Well, he's dragging and talking. He's a little bit calmer with you as you all walk, but he's still taking you back to camp. Meanwhile, at camp, something odd has happened. Rick Javik did the "I'm going to go sneak off to town," and then Angelique apparently just went hand over the mouth and poof into the shadows as we had a crit fail and a crit success on our 2 stealth rolls.
Dwarven fighters obviously are the sneakiest.
Apparently so.
Halflings, no, not so much.
Let's be honest, that was teamwork.
Or no.
It's because me personally, I'm a rogue at heart, so I think that's just it flowed through me.
So with that, you two sneak off into the woods and start making your way off the beaten path back to town. You do notice, because you can kind of see the road off to your right. You see periodically there'll be like a group of 4 or 5 people that'll be stumbling back out the path going up that don't look in good shape, and then you'll see a second group as you're kind of getting down to town.
And these are going
so
towards
back
the town?
at the camp.
I'm sorry, are they going towards or
They are
away
coming
from?
away from the town.
Oh, okay.
They are away from the town towards the camp. Real quick, we have, all right, because of course we are 10 minutes in and have split the party. That's always a good sign.
Wonderful.
Derpy, you are to where originally the guard was standing, and he's just kind of looking at you, shaking his head, going, adventurer, a license to do whatever you want to do. You'll get yourself killed if you go back there. You and your foolhardy compatriots.
It's kind of like, as he's telling and warning him, he's getting more and more excited. Like, yes? How is the story going to end? Like a wide-eyed child.
Tell you what, give me because he's starting to soften on you, and while originally he was in sort of a hostile mood to you all because you've ruined his day and his sort of all of his townspeople that he is dedicated to trying to save them, but he sees that you're just sort of a lovable idiot. Go ahead and give me a charisma roll.
Oh, no. Okay.
D20 plus your charisma.
Oh, it's
Wonderful.
Is it straight charisma, or does he get the persuade skill to use?
This, as I understanding, you're changing as an attitude. I believe that's just charisma. But then again, if you see something that
that's gonna hurt. Okay.
15. Okay, that's good enough. His demeanor around you kind of changes. He realizes what you are, which again is just a lovable fool. And in his hasty actions, perhaps he was a little too rough with you. You had just fallen out of a tree and hit your head. That must explain your acting. He tries to tell you that this is the safe place to be. You don't want to be back in town. There's a reason that we're all here evacuating the town. It's supposed to be back there, and you should stay here.
But that's where our home is. Shouldn't somebody check it out? With a grin.
And then he kind of sighs and thinks. Go ahead and give me a diplomacy check now that you have softened him to see if he will accept your terms to go scout.
Okay, let's do this.
The suspense is killing me. Whoa!
That's a mighty grin. That's a mighty fool's grin.
Nice.
Okay.
Put the smolder on.
He pulls you to the side. There's something about you that he likes. I don't know what it is, but he finds something this character, not me, finds something lovable about your character. And he pulls you to the side and he goes, all right, look, here, I'm going to level with you. We don't really know what's going on down there. If you think you could get down there and scout out and at least figure out what's going on, keep yourself safe. If you can figure out what's going on, I'll let you go down that path. Don't try climbing any more trees.
With every sentence, he goes, has to breathe in with a bigger smile. Yeah? Like waiting for the end of the story. Oh, that's it. Ha-ha! Adventure awaits. And then hands him a pine cone. Like, you keep this safe.
And with that, he sort of sighs, realizing he says sent to challenge the individual to his death, but accepts his fate.
Wonderful.
So, with that, you go, I assume, skipping down the road.
With even greater haste, jumping into the air. Hey, adventure!
That's our derpy.
Okay, so you two have taken a little bit slower route, but it's going to end up putting you all conveniently about the same time. As you all, the three of you in your two separate groups approach closer to town, and just real quick, I know the other two are trying to be quiet, and Angelique has just got her hand over Rick's mouth, apparently to keep him quiet. What about Derpy there? Is Derpy what's Derpy's demeanor as he's going down to town? Is he trying to be quiet? Is he again skipping and chucking pine cones? What's he doing?
As if Funland finally opened up and this is his first day and he wants to go on all the rides. He is so excited, blissfully awaits. What is going to happen? Is there a mystery? What kind of fun in town? Kind of like, and then when it gets closer to town, he eventually stop and start walking, and then readying. I mean, he's very alert to his surroundings, but he kind of puts his hand up, and yeah.
As he's going down to town, he passes a family that's coming up, a mother and a couple of kids, and she's just in tears, and they're going up the path, sort of to the encampment. Do you acknowledge them? Continue skipping down? They don't seem to be interested in talking with you. They're just sort of huddled together and going up the path.
Immediately stops, walks over, pulls out a blanket from his adventuring sack and a couple rations, throws it around them and says, "You'll be fine. The guards are this way." And just has a smile the whole time. And then just lets them on their way and then starts walking away. Adventure!
Oh, and she seemed very, very receptive to that, still huddling the family close as they move up. As the three of you all now, again, in two separate groups, approach town, you're not within sight of it yet, but you start to immediately, the flashes of light and the smoke that's coming up from there is fire, and there is a lot of it in town. Are we progressing forward?
That was them, not Derp, right? Derp doesn't know.
You see it as well because your path is a little quicker because you're on a road walking. So the three of you all are about the same distance from town because they're going stealthily through the woods while you are happily skipping down a path. So even though they left earlier, you all are about the same.
Okay. He'll eventually just stop whenever he gets
to
the
again,
edge
not
of
yet,
town.
but all three of you.
Okay. Well, Derp will stop
Two through
soon
the
as he gets... He'll stop as soon as he gets to the edge of town and kind of just see what's happening, what's before him.
Okay, so you're going to the edge of town. What about our other two? What is Rick and Angelique doing?
So Angelique has Rick and is kind of like dragging him along because she has one hand literally over his mouth, and because she's slightly taller than him, so she's kind of picking him up off the ground and sort of like carrying him like that, but very stealthily. And she can actually hear Derpy, kind of singing as he goes through the road, and she knows he's close by, and she kind of whispers, oh, it looks like he made it through safely. I knew he would. And, she's not bothered at all by the fire and the lightning or anything like that. She kind of just keeps going like that.
You said you heard Derpy singing?
Yeah.
Through the forest, it's a beautiful day in the wood hood. It's the beautiful day in the wood hood. And he kind of like pets a squirrel. You can hear that.
Yeah. I can hear the squirrel being very happy about that. And she holds Rick very, very...
Meanwhile, Rick Javik is just trying to hold on a conversation, even though, there's a hand firmly placed over his mouth. He's like, no, you don't understand. Like, in the story I'm writing, you and me are like we're like detectives, right? We solve crimes. It's called Gnome and Dwarf, and then Derpy's like our chauffeur. Like, he drives the wagon, and we go around the country solving crimes, but we pretend to be rich billionaires. Wait, what? That's like fire.
So she notices that Rick Javik is getting kind of loud, so Angelique kind of squeezes him so that all the air kind of gets out of his lungs all at once, and then kind of holds him like that so that he can't speak, and that he can only kind of breathe very shallowly.
Okay, so you all are approaching town. Derpy is in a Disney movie, moving through the woods. We have Angelique and Richard Vick who are get to sort of the edge of town. When you get within actual sight of it, you see that there's a number of fires going up from various different buildings. Richard Vick, what part of town was your hut in that you're very fond of?
Oh, well, that was over in the northwest section. It was sort of built right off the general store, because when they were building it, they just had a whole bunch of, like, scrap wood, and I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll give back to the community by stealing that wood and then building a shed.
The northwest side of town seems to be very much on fire.
No! The shed!
You may blame the D8 for that. Okay. Give me perception rolls all around.
All right.
Okay.
Perception is intelligence, or what is that? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, is that intelligence?
Perception?
I think it's wisdom.
Okay.
Wisdom, okay. Insight, perception.
Should be on your character sheet.
Wisdom, 16.
It's called Surge.
Well, it just gives, like, the ability scores, is the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't really.
Right.
It's a new system. Give them time.
Plus, I'm a total noob.
That's a 7. Wonderful.
15. Okay.
Rick's rolling hot tonight.
Yeah, Rick Javik, pretty much what you see is the hairy arm of Angelique in front of your face. That's about all you can make out. Both Angelique and Derpy, you all, as you sort of survey over it, the first thing you notice is the lack of any people in the town. You don't see anyone else, human-wise in the town. You see there's various numbers of fires everywhere. You hear some odd guttural sounds. And you see a number of spirits, apparitions, something sort of fading in and out of view on tops of buildings and streets in various locations, just sort of dotted around the town.
Is there supposed to be a picture? No. Okay.
No? Okay.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were pointing at.
No, we can only use art we have permission to use, so you have to just deal with somewhat bare bones.
I see.
You have heard of the mind.
So Angelique sort of is very shocked by the wisps sort of fading in and out of vision, and she turns to Derpy. We're all together now, right? Are we all together?
No, Derpy he walked down the road separate.
Oh, no.
Unless you hailed him,
Okay.
hailed you over.
No, I was just wondering. So I turn to Rikjavik and I say, what devils are those? Do you see them?
Yeah, I think I might know something like that. I want to try and Rikjavik's going to try and recall if there's any sort of weird, dark religious thing or anything like that, since he's a druid and he has a plus on religious lore.
Okay, absolutely. Give me your religious lore check.
Okay. Cool. That's going to be a... Okay. So, 0 on the intelligence, but since it's a lore, I get a plus 10, which is awesome. Alright. At least I'm guaranteed to roll over a 10 this time. Seriously?
Your religion does not believe in spirits.
Alright. Yeah.
You have no idea about anything like this.
Well, I suppose we should make it to town. Derpy will be there by now. Can I trust you to stay quiet while we keep walking? I don't think anyone's in town anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. I guess you can just scream at the top of your lungs and run down the hill and set yourself on fire and nobody will care, but try to be quiet, okay?
No one will care?
No one will care. I set down Rikjavik.
I thought we were friends.
Well, I'll care a little bit.
You know what else burns more than fire?
What?
Hurtful words.
I got a couple for you, mister. Now be quiet. And I kind of push him in the back forward.
All right, so
okay, fine.
you two sort of come out of the clearing, sort of where the trees end, and start to approach town. Derpy, you see them now sort of coming out of the trees, because you're at the end of the path, sort of at the entrance of town.
Friends! Starts running down. Friends! And as he gets closer, fire! And just running straight towards them. Just, what his max speed?
Wow.
So Angelique's kind of gonna put Rikjavik, she kind of plops him right in front of Derpy's runs, right in front of Derpy's trail, so that he'll clobber Rikjavik before anyone else. Because all three of them know exactly what's coming.
Okay, so yeah, Derpy's running full force, arms spread wide, tackles Rikjavik, and they both tumble to the ground while Angelique just goes, and the group is reunited.
My scapula hurts.
You don't know where your scapula is.
It's in the leg, right?
Here's a pine cone. Gets up and gets into battle mode.
All right, so after the brief thing that you all are immediately, your attention is drawn as you see one of these apparitions sort of lower down right in front of you. There's no face to be seen, but its head is kind of ducked down, its arms outlined in a big cloak, and then you just hear a scream as it charges at you. And roll initiative. I like it, because we are actually at the bottom of this map. Bear with me while I move our tokens here. Should I make you two start prone? I really should. The two that tackle
You
each
see
other.
what you've done? I didn't tackle anybody. I just wanted to help everyone.
It's fun. It's part of the game.
It's never a party until half the party tries to kill the other party. Seriously?
Boop, 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 boop. Aw. That was kind of low.
Derpy is ready for action.
All right, and I wasn't paying very bit of attention here. Okay. 16. Rick is at a 7. And Angelique at a 9. Okay, so the ray appears, gives it stream, and Derpy, you get the first turn.
You didn't write my name.
What?
You didn't write my name.
I spelled it as a normal human being would spell it.
It's not anywhere.
No,
That's not in there.
What?
it's not in the chart.
You don't see Angelique?
Nope.
No.
I see the figure, but it says 9, but there's no name.
Weird. On my end, I see it.
Nobody else sees it, though? Okay, so it's not me.
Huh. Well, who knows?
Does it appear now?
No.
Well, go in there. You have permissions to edit your token. You go in there and try and mess with it.
Ah, there we go.
What?
Okay. Alright, which
Ooh, I
one?
do. Yeah. Save the derp.
But, Derpy, you have the first turn in combat.
Seeing this thing. You see his hands raise up, one staff, and he gets excited. And just attacks it with his long sword. Movement, where's my movements? Movement, where are you?
Whatever.
30. These are 5-foot squares, right?
5-foot squares.
This one.
The move and the attack.
So you charge up and swing.
Oh, I got robbed. Somebody shook the table. Who shook the table? It was 7. Everybody saw it was 17, right?
As you swing and it ducks back down into the side and your blade goes right past it. Angelique, actually, I'm sorry, in D&D Next, of course, you can split up your movement, so technically you could still move if you would like.
Oh, the rest of his rounds? Or the rest of the spaces?
Yes, you can. You can do your
Ooh.
action at any point in your movement.
Even though he moved, he gets the remainder now?
Yep.
That's an interesting mechanic. Okay.
You can do it after, you can do it before, you can do whatever you want on it.
What is that? 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Flee!
Okay, so you run over there, and while you're running, and Angelique, it's going to be your turn. Derpy, go ahead and give me another perception roll. But Angelique, it is your turn.
Okay. So, there I am. Okay. So, am I close enough to hit it? Where do I need to be right next to him?
You need to be adjacent. Diagonal counts.
Okay. So,
I'm assuming you're using a melee weapon.
so can I move one? What do I need to do that?
Certainly. So essentially, you can move a number of squares equal your speed. They're 5-foot squares. Diagonal essentially costs 1.5 movement. You can do your movement at any time, essentially before or after your action. So sort of like Derpy did, you can either split it up, you can move before and move after. So you need to move at least 1 square forward or diagonal to be in melee range. Then you may attack, and then you can choose to either stay there or use more of your movement.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't touch my my character.
You just hitting on the mouse cursor, select move option.
Yeah.
It's not letting you.
No, I can grab everybody else, but I can't grab mine.
That's wacky.
Because I don't have it controlled by all players. Try it now.
There we go, and there's the name.
Hey!
Look at that.
I got a move of 25, so I'm gonna move like that. Can I move diagonal?
Absolutely. It counts as a space and a half.
Space and a half. So I'm gonna sit
7.5.
there. And then there's going to be a bloodbath because I'm going to hit this thing in the face with my sword. Well, not my sword because I don't have a sword. With my axe. Alright, so attack is... now I feel under pressure, so I'm taking a long time, I'm sorry.
That's all right. While you're doing your attack roll, Derpy, I see you roll a 22 on your perception. What you see off to your right, sort of in town center, is you see a number of townspeople that are sort of huddled by this one building, and you see this just monstrosity of flesh that's sort of lying in pieces near them. You don't really know what exactly this thing is, but you see arms, you see legs, torso, it's all in pieces.
What is that? Kind of like whispers as everybody's fighting. Like, psst, psst, what is that Moundo flesh? Does he also see, he actually sees townsfolk though, too?
He sees it. They sort of seem to be huddled again against this one building, and you see other of these wisps sort of floating by them, almost sort of keeping them there. And they seem quite scared.
Okay, could he call anything out to anybody?
Maybe when your turn comes back around.
Oh, wait.
But do we have an attack roll yet from Angelique?
I think so. I think I did it right.
I didn't see it pop up.
She just rolled it.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
that's supposed to be a +3.
Plus 3 at 10, it's still a miss as it ducks down and try to lop off its head, but it goes above. Anything else you get? You still have the rest of your movement if you would like to take it.
No, I think I'm going to stay right in its face.
Okay, well, that's good. It's its turn, and its sort of faceless head goes up, and you just see teeth and gangly spikes come out sort of the board, and it just bites for your neck. What is your armor class?
My armor class is hella.
Well,
It's going to be under the top underneath the name.
yeah.
Oh,
Right below
gotcha.
first level small. Yeah. That's it.
It's 18.
18.
Jeepers.
Hold up.
Yeah, as it bites, and what kind of armor are you wearing?
Should say right next to the AC. Why am I talking like this? I'm not even in character.
I just want it for, I don't care, I just want it for flavor. It bites into the meaty
Oh.
part of your armor, and its teeth just clank into
God.
whatever.
I've got armor made out of elephant bones.
Fair enough. Grabs the meatiest thigh bone, and its teeth hit it, and it recoils back, and it lets out another big scream.
Are we going to have to do like a PETA disclaimer after this?
Rick, only animals were hurt during the filming of this playtest.
She was on when we were on vacation. We left bears with. We went to elephants with, and just did some very illegal poaching.
Lot greater trade to elephants.
I need some new armor. You want to kill some elephants? Sure. Obviously.
Rick, it is your turn.
All right. Rick's feeling the fight. He's all mad. He's gonna fight out of vengeance now because he's all mad. He's gonna go right. No. He's even gonna go right next to him. Maybe attack diagonally, and he's going to swipe at this guy with a scimitar while yelling out, "My shed!"
Can I also point out? Look at his hat. It is literally a gnome's hat. Just look at that. He is the roaming gnome.
That is a 14.
14 attack roll hits.
Oh yeah, son. All right, cool. That's feeling good. Feeling good about that. Okay, so that's gonna be 1d6 plus 2 slashing. Looks like.
Five points of damage.
Oh yeah.
And you just see it puff into a burst of smoke and disappear.
Good job, Rick. I'm really proud of you.
Aw, you're just saying that. Thank you.
You're right. I am just saying that.
Well done. You raised my hopes and then dashed them expertly.
Kind of like pointing. Flesh. Thing. There.
Well, it is you're back at the top of the order. We're staying in initiative for this. It is your turn, Derpy. You may now speak at will.
Flesh. Weird. Mound thing. Must save townskin.
What are you talking about?
And then, without even answering what that was, because he felt sufficient that was sufficient information, he just gonna bolt. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Was that 6? 1, 2, 3.
No, that's 6.
6. Okay. And he just starts running on down.
Okay then.
All right. Anything else that Derpy's doing?
No, everything is too far away to have fun. Oh, actually, no, it's not.
I was about to say the wizard can't do ranged attack.
Yeah, but I thought everything was still too far. Okay, I got to move the screen up so everybody can see. Yeah. Stands there wide-eyed, and he wants to cast magic missile.
Of course he does.
I've never heard of this attack before. What does it do?
It's kind of like a low-key one. It's something like a special project of Derpy's. His mom said it's a special spell for a special boy, and so he was always proud of it. Very unique. Evidently, it's the only one ever that he's mastered. And it gets to shoot 100 feet, 3 darts, and he's going to hit one of each of these weird-looking things. Each.
Okay, so hit me with that ping button went to the first one you're targeting and give me a first attack roll.
It is a... No attack roll.
No attack?
No, it has not changed. It still is a hit. This thing has not changed since the beginning of D&D's history, has it? It's still just an auto... No.
Right. There's a few of us players in the world.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any change in it.
Do they take save against it, or is it just bam
That's
and hit?
what I'm looking, because I have a couple different things prepared, and this is one of them, and it's not showing a save, and anybody that sees this can make a comment and correct me and say I am a fool, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay,
I'm not seeing that, so you guys can, anybody that watches the video can correct me and say I just destroyed the playtest. But it's not showing it.
And make sure you like and comment down below and subscribe.
We're not even there yet. Calm yourself. Okay, yeah,
it's come at the end.
It's showing that it's 100.
And tell Keegan he's wrong. Tell Keegan he's wrong about magic missile.
It's yeah, those are all well within 100 feet. So
all right, so
hit this one, then this one, and then this one, and it says it hits simultaneously, all of them. What? The boy invented the spell. It's a mad genius. And it says 1d4 plus 1 force damage against each of these creatures of the night or whatever they are. First one, second one, and third one.
Bam, bam, bam. As you see, 3 puffs of smoke. Poof, poof, poof.
Whoa! Ha ha! A little music goes out in his head, like a victory song, inside of Derpy's head. Victory song! Yes.
Angelique!
I'm not saying I've heard that song before.
Well, Angelique's like, what the fuck is going on? I think if it's you have steps according to what your speed is, right?
Yeah, essentially each space is 5 feet. So if your speed is 25, you can move 5 squares. Although diagonal counts as a square and a half.
Okay.
I don't do the math.
So I just moved a square and a half. So, I think I can move like.
Well, you moved a square and a half last turn. Now you're at the new turn, so you've got your full movement.
Everything's all fresh and new. Okay.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna yell over to Derpy and be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
And now you see this big mound of flesh that is sort of sitting here in pieces.
Oh, that's disgusting. Let's go check it out.
Rick.
Playing tag with my new friends. He just quits back.
Yeah, Rick starts blazing away. He's like, Derpy, did you see what I did? I killed him. Oh my good lord, what is that?
There was more.
It looks like socks covered in meat.
Oh, God, that is horrible.
And with that, at sort of the end of the turn, you see one of its hands reach out and grab one of the townspeople and just drag it in. You just see it start to assimilate into its flesh.
Ugh.
Gross.
You also see the other two shades here just sort of slowly floating your direction.
Oh, I think they've seen us, guys. They saw us already.
Derpy. Back at the top of the order.
There we go. Everybody can see that better. Something wrong here. The only two things. So this thing is like moving now. Those bulbous masks of disgust.
It kind of. I mean, again, you just saw it bring a body into it, and you see sort of the mounds of flesh that are around starting to come together, and the townsperson is screaming, and then the screams get muffled under its pile of flesh. So yeah, it's moving.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, not on it. 5. Using his poking stick, he just kind of stabs at it and just pokes it to see what kind of reaction is he going to get from this thing, because he saw a person go into it.
Okay, like, are you like attacking to deal damage, or are you just going like, oh, what you doing?
Probing it just because he sees a creature and he's like, I still got townsfolk in there, don't want to hurt them, and so confused at what's happening. So he's kind of just like pushing it and prodding it and maybe trying to lift a fold up to see if there's a living townsfolk underneath it.
Okay, yeah, and as you were poking through, you've seen that townsfolk that it squirming and doing everything it can, but you see the flesh and the bones of this beast start to literally just grow in and penetrate the person that was absorbed. You also see pieces of other people inside of this as you're sort of poking around.
And with that, his smile doesn't fade, but you could see the horror on his eyes. He's just like, some things you cannot unsee.
And with that, it takes us to Angelique.
All right. So I'm gonna be like, I yell out across from across, and I'm like, Derpy, don't touch that. You don't know where it's been.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna run towards him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And be like, don't touch it. It's bad for you.
I know.
Get away from that.
Okay.
All right, that takes us to Rick.
Rick is just like, he's disgusted, but he can't look away. He's got to see this through. So he slowly starts approaching it. 1, 2, 3. And it's like he almost sounds kind of like when a cat's getting ready to throw up in the middle of the night. Just the more he's supposed to, he's like, I can taste it in my mouth just smelling it. Ah.
Okay, so we get back to the bottom of the order, as it were. It all of a sudden sort of sits up, and you see it's got about 2.5 legs, and its giant fist comes in the air and just slams down to Derpy. Derpy, what's your AC?
Oh no, it's horrible AC. Being the awesome mage or wizard of elfdom, I put on my awesome robe and give myself 12 AC.
12 AC, okay. And the beast has no contemplation of why the wizard went first to poke into something. It merely attacks. And it hits. Wizard take 8 points of damage.
8?
8 points of damage.
8?
Oh my god!
Holy crap! How do we deal with incapacitation then?
Are you in negative hit points?
I'm at 0.
What?
Because he fell out of the tree!
Fell from a tree and just got hammered to the ground. Okay, you are unconscious. Now you have to make saving throws. It is, again, you all haven't played 4th edition apparently, but each turn you will roll a d20. If you get 10 or higher, it's a successful save. If you roll lower than 10, you're one step closer to death. Whichever result you get 3 of first, you either die or stabilize. If you ever roll a natural 20, you automatically stabilize.
You are welcome, audience. My death. It's for your entertainment.
Well,
Okay, so
Everybody watching this is like, thank God.
its body lurches
Holy
forward
crap.
on top of your
Oh no. Okay, so I'm rolling. You said it was for my constitution, right?
Well, that won't be till your turn.
Oh, okay. So I get,
That'll
at least,
happen.
I get to live for one more round. Yay!
But it lurches on top and swings its other fist down at Rick.
Oh.
Rick, what's your armor class?
My AC is 16.
16. It
Yeah.
swings and misses. As it swings down, its arm hits the ground beside you. The arm breaks off in a mound of flesh and rolls over next to the building. Meanwhile, you see the 2 wraiths. One moves over towards the people, and one continues floating in. Top of the order, Derpy. So yes, you are unconscious. So you roll a straight D20 with nothing modified to it.
Okay. So
Nothing
I don't even
yet.
get the constitution bonus.
Just a straight D20.
Oh god. I covered my eyes. Clicking roll. What does roll 20 give me?
Oh my God.
Do they love me? They love me!
Unnatural.
Obviously, you know.
Unfortunately, this DM can't kill Derpy as he does stabilize.
You can't keep a good derp down. He just feels good now.
Wonderful.
Okay, so you are now stabilized. I'm looking up the rules, but that is the end of your turn. And Lee, you go.
All right. So I know these 2 idiots are probably killing themselves over here, but Angelique is gonna run over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get ready to hit this guy in the head.
Which one
But
are you
I'm
swinging? You're actually adjacent to both. Are you swinging at the wraith or the big flesh guy?
The Wraith, because he's quick. And I want to get rid of the Wraiths.
Okay, go ahead and make your hack.
Do the do, pretty as they would say.
Hey!
16's a hit. Roll for damage.
That's a 6. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Derpy, you actually regain 1 hit point for rolling natural.
Yes! That's more
So you
than
are
enough.
conscious again.
That is way more than enough.
What was it?
You don't know the power of your awesome axe?
I'm working on it, man.
That should be like the number one thing. I'm an axe-wielding dwarf. It's always, what is your weapon, then what are you? It's your ID. It's your soul.
Do, 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 do.
What makes Angelique's heart sing?
Apparently slaying wraith as another one bursts into smoke.
Nice.
Takes us to... actually, you still have movement if you'd like to use it.
Sure. I will... Okay, sorry. My screen went crazy.
I'm not... Is that a combat action? I'm not familiar with that.
What the... Okay, I'm gonna move this way. Can I turn my little man around? Okay, whatever. Well, I move 1 and And that's it, right? I can't do more?
You've already done your action. Yep, all you had left was movement.
All right, so I'm going to get ready to hit him right in his chubby fingers. I'm going to slice those sausages off.
Okay, on its turn, because it's its turn again. You see its one arm that's still attached. It's sort of behind it, reaches out and grabs the ground and pulls itself a couple squares this direction.
Disgusting.
Then you see the wraith that's over here pick up this woman and drop it into the flesh of the... And you see it start to absorb it again. Derpy, you are back alive. You are currently prone, though. It takes 5 foot of your movement to stand up from prone.
So it gets 5, 10. Actually, since everybody's out of the way, 1, 2, 3, 15. That's enough. The cone is done like this, right?
Yep.
Like this, because it's 15. It's 15 in front of the person, correct?
Right.
So does that mean it's 15 out this way or this one?
No, because the measuring tool you're using is using like 4th edition rules where diagonal is still 5 feet, and it shouldn't be.
So 3 would be 15, or what?
Right. Yeah.
So this is the 15?
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
because I have a spell that does the cone, a 15-foot cone. So it's going to be blasting like this.
okay.
And what he does is he gets angry, chants a little something to himself, casts burning hands, and it says, as you hold your hands with your thumbs touching, your fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots forth. So it leaps forward, and they get a dex save.
They get a dexterity save. Okay. Starting with the wraith.
Let me see what that is.
The wraith just immediately bursts into flames and I'm melting as it goes to the ground. The big
I have to
guy,
roll damage on the big dude. If it's a fail, I get to roll damage on him.
he does fail it.
Sweet roll.
Hey!
This is going to be an awesome roll then.
Nice.
Wow, that's a strong first level. 2d8.
Jeepers.
And only have done the save. For a first level, wow.
9 points of damage. Just half of its body just catches fire. Flames coming off and meat is singeing on it.
Flame. And now he gets all wide-eyed and excited.
All right, Derpy leaves you still some movement, and that's it.
Kind of takes a couple steps back. It took 5 to get up, 5 to move. So just take a couple more back.
All right,
You got this,
Angela.
guys.
All right, I'm gonna get up right next to this guy. I'm gonna hit him like I said I would, like I told my mom I would.
When you all would frequently recount bedtime stories of flesh beasts. It was an odd childhood for Angelique. Some would say disturbing, but then others would point to this event in her life.
You know, what could you expect from a dwarf?
Some would just call it a Tuesday.
Yep. Damn, I missed.
7, as you swing and you hit a protruding bone from its arm and your axe just goes clang off of it.
Dang it.
Disgusting.
Rick.
All right. Feeling the nice calming smell of like cooked sausage, he retreats and he's kind of surprised that Derpy is on his feet and moving, but he's like he's gonna go up. He's like, look, I have to. Just let me touch your face, okay? This is gonna be weird. You're still covered in like man flesh, but let me touch your face. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him. So I sort of clamber up on top of his chest, and I gently put my hands on his cheeks, and I just make very uncomfortable eye contact.
His eyes grow and his grin widens.
Yes.
We're friends.
And yes. I'm halfway expecting Derpy to ask me to tell him about the bears and the rabbits.
No. Don't
That's
tell
right,
him
Derpy.
about the rabbits.
That's right, Derpy. We're gonna have a farm where we can raise rabbits.
No.
Wow.
10 hit points.
Holy crud.
All right.
Feeling pretty good now.
Angelique's just kind of going to yell over at them. You boys done kissing? We need to kill this thing.
Hey. Who is the formerly married man here? I'm confident in my heterosexuality.
While he's not looking at Derp and he's yelling back as he swings his head back around, Derpy's eyes are closed and he's kind of puckering up. And then opens his eyes like, oh no, that's not what, okay.
Well, the romantic moment is broken as the beast first wings his hand at Angelique. What'd you say your armor class was?
My armor class is 18.
It hits you with an 18 on die.
Wow.
6
Your
points
eyes
of
just got
damage.
so big.
What? How much of damage?
6 points of damage
Oh, poops.
as it hits you, and then it sort of stands up tall, and it's probably fully erect. It's 20 feet tall, and just flaming leaps forward at the other two just to crush you all with its body. Make a dexterity save.
Oh yeah, being an elf, I actually have that.
Let's not talk about sausages and erections ever again. Like erect.
It is a perfectly legitimate use of that word.
Look, we're just talking about some flaming sausage that is erecting itself. And
All of this is perfectly normal English. I'm confused at the laughter.
Okay, so what do we have?
this is a serious game for serious people, Jenny.
Damn right. 21.
Hey, 21.
It's Dungeons and
Highest I've
Dragons.
rolled yet.
You're not allowed to have fun.
And we're still waiting on a save.
Yeah.
21-20 as you jump out of the way, and the flaming flesh beast hits the corner of this building, and just parts of it go left and parts of it go right, and the corner of the building starts to catch fire as its hide is on fire. But it smashes down on it. Derpy, it is your turn. It is still moving now.
Oh man. Okay. As it's trying to figure out. What else can I do? No, that's not cool enough. He gets one more spell, so his last one, it has to be awesome. Where's the awesomeness? I thought I saw an awesome one. He has to take a couple steps back, because he does not trust any of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that considered still? Yeah, range, that's right. Range is diagonal also.
Coming from the person who refuses to move diagonal. Poor Derpy. He's never in his life moved anything other than north, south, east, west.
That man took marching band for 8 years. By gum, he's going to use it.
As the last one, because he realized that he would kill his own friend if he tried to do that. No, you know what? Forget it. Ray of Frost. Derpy pulls out his hands raised and fires a beam of blue-white energy that chills your enemy to the bone. And it's within 50 feet.
F, man!
Within 50 feet. Boom!
Does it just target one, or is it going to hit Rick too?
It's a beam, so it's just straight.
Okay.
And it's 50 feet. Because I was going to do something else, but I realized you would have been in the blast radius, and I didn't want to do that to you. An attack roll of range. I got a +4 to it. And then on a hit, he gets damaged and speed reduced.
Impressive.
There it is.
Most impressive.
See the roll?
I do not. Or was the 20? Oh, it's 20.
Yeah, I've got
again.
20 twice. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a hit.
Okay, so it gets the 8 damage. 8 damage. And why did my thing suck? And then it reduces his movement to only 10 feet until my next turn.
As it deals 6 points of damage, and you freeze the back section of it, and you see more flesh sort of break off in chunking pieces. Angelique.
All right. Man, I love running around and trying to hit this thing. It's my favorite part of this game.
It always runs away from you for some reason.
It doesn't like me. It doesn't like me at all.
It's scared of strong, independent women.
Derby's like, oh, I wish it liked me less.
Right? I love
Trying to give you a big hug, Derpy.
Kind of like smiles, but has like a little bit of tear in his eyes. Like he's trying to fight him back. Like, oh, it loves me less.
Hi, my name's Fleshman. I like warm hugs.
13's enough to hit it.
Ooh.
Yay!
Hey!
All right. Let's hit it with an entire brick. What was that? 1d8. Come on, no whammies, no whammies!
10 points of damage. Angelique, describe how you bring this thing finally down.
All right. So, I'm standing right next to his right next to his head. You see here. So, I bring the axe up over my head like a lumberjack about to strike a log, and I slam it down onto the creature's throat a couple times and cleave off its head, and blood splurts everywhere out into the field, and it's just it continues spraying everywhere for a good 5 minutes or so, because there's just so much nastiness and blood and pus, and it gurgles, and it's disgusting.
And with that is how Kill Bill 3 ends, as the strongest woman brings the axe down to the sprays of blood. Okay, and with that, it goes down. All the town people return to town. They praise you. They elect Derpy king, and then ultimately the town falls apart due to economic distress.
Success.
Man, why does this town have a public healthcare option? Thanks, Derpy.
You're welcome. Would you like a pumpkin?
Okay. And fade to black.
Oh man, so that was it.
That was our wonderful playtest of D&D Next.
I hope you had as much fun with it as we did.
We had so much.
That actually was insane.
These many funs, like that much.
Exactly 6. We had exactly 6 funds.